So today is Wednesday, the 4th of December, 2024, and we're having our morning analysis, 7:14 a.m. Nigerian time. Now, we have some events already took place in the course of the night here in Nigeria. That's 1:30 a.m. There was GDP from Australia. GDP quarterly from Australia took place by 1:30 a.m. And the news came out bad for the Australian dollar. And 2 a.m., the RBNZ, that is the Reserve Bank of New Zealand Governor Orr, gave a speech. And the next fundamental event for this morning session is 10 a.m. And now with the Bank of England, Governor Bailey is going to give a speech. Now it's a speech. A speech can go either ways. We don't have data for forecast or actual on it. So as much as possible, we do encourage you are very careful in the market around that period. And it's a speech. It may affect any other currencies, not just the pound. So this morning session, I will advise us to trade with a lot of caution. The other news will be taken care of in the afternoon session, like the ADP non-farm employment, ISM manufacturing. The pre-New Year session analysis will attend to that. So I'll just go over now to the technical, where we look at the possible instruments that might move before 10. Like I said, we need to be careful of that 10 a.m. Speech by the central bank governor. And technically, to be honest, we don't really have much in this season. But then like I said yesterday, I was really looking at the JPY pairs, and I'm still looking at them. They didn't go as planned yesterday. Instead of buying, there was a retracement, even though the overall sentiment is still bullish. There was a retracement yesterday, and this morning they are looking quite bullish. So we might prepare to look for an opportunity to make an entry on any of them. Like we'll look at the AUD JPY and the New Zealand JPY to start. Most of the dollar pairs are just on the quiet side, and that is expected. NFP is on Friday. So usually the week of NFP, the dollar is always, on the kind of the ranging side. That's what happens generally NFP week. All right, so this is the AUD JPY. On the daily time frame, we can clearly see that price has been making a series of higher lows. You can see the trend line pointing upwards, and now price touched the trend line a third time. Technically, we expect a bounce in the bullish direction. Let me zoom it out so that we can see. This is a candle that closed yesterday, where the reversal gradually was to start, and this is a candle for today. Don't forget, earlier on, in the night, there was a news. So there was a retracement, and a rejection candle is being formed, which will see price go in the bullish direction. So all this is on the daily. If you go down to the 4-hour, we can see here now that this guy is ready for a very strong bullish sentiment, a rejection candle. That is also, expected to push price in the bullish direction. Then finally, we go down to 1 hour. So what we're going to be waiting for now on 1 hour time frame is for price to break out above this trend line. That is what yesterday we're looking at above this place. You can see it was a retracement. But now this time around, with that rejection is a further confirmation. That is the rejection we saw on the 4-hour. It's a further confirmation that we're expecting a massive bullish breakout. So it depends on how you want to trade it. If you're a swing trader, I would say you still wait for price to break above that high of yesterday, which is this area here. Then it will trigger in the bullish direction for swing. But for day traders, your entry will be a little earlier. And your entry will be, let me say, this region here. If price is able to break above this zone here, then you can trigger your buy trade. So we're bullish on the AUD JPY. We're bullish on the AUD JPY. So we need to just watch it closely in the course of the day. It's a falling wedge from the 4-hour, even 1 hour time frame. So a reversal is really, really strongly anticipated. We have a reversal pattern already. Only we're waiting to trigger the entry. So watch out for this instrument in the course of today. And when it breaks out also, I'll be watching it. If we can give you an update in the relevant groups, we'll definitely do that. And the other is the New Zealand JPY. Don't forget these two instruments also had a fundamental release overnight, and that could propel them into a lot of action. So for the New Zealand JPY, it's still the same kind of setup because on the 4-hour, we can see a very, very sharp rejection candle again. This is actually a doji, a gravestone doji. That is expected to push it in the bullish direction likewise. And again, if you're a swing trader, wait clearly for a breakout above the previous high of yesterday and RSI clearly above 50. Please, in whatever you do, if it's a bullish trade, ensure that your RSI is clearly above 50 by the time you may want to trigger the bullish trade. Even on 1 hour, if you're doing day trading, same thing applies. So on 1 hour also, we're going to be expecting a breakout upwards, above the current trend line for us to trigger the bullish trade on this instrument. So we're bullish also on the New Zealand JPY. All right, you can check other JPY pairs at your discretion, but all of them are bullish. Okay, so those are the two setup I want to give us this morning because that's what the market is giving. We don't go beyond what the market is willing to give us. Now, somebody is asking, Augustine Sunday is asking Eurocard. Fine. Now, there are some of these other pairs that I've mentioned earlier, long-term setup, but then nothing is happening at the moment. But the GBP card, now there's a pound news by 10. It's a speech. Like I said, we need to be very careful. But after the speech, if GBP card breaks out above this current resistance zone that we can see, you can trigger a buy. That is, please take note, that is after the speech. The reason is because for GBP card, if you take it to the daily time frame, you can see price has been in an uptrend on the daily, and we have this support pound resistance zone, that area there. And if you go down to the 4-hour, it actually gave us an inverse head and shoulder pattern, which is ready to break out. So being that the news by 10 a.m. is a speech and it's from the United Kingdom, the pound is involved. If the news triggers a breakout, then afterwards, you can trigger a buy. This one is technically ready to break out in the bullish direction. Now, take note that this is going to be a swing trade, so it may span the remaining days of the week. And on the average, this can give as much as about let's just say roughly about 200 pips. But at the same time, trade with a lot of caution. Don't take any unnecessary risk. Don't go beyond the lot size of your account. If you're trading with an account of $100, $200, don't go beyond 0.01. If you're trading $1,000, don't go beyond 0.02, and on like that. So we have a bullish outlook on the GBP CAD. And also a swing again on the Euro card. For the person asking, I have a setup on the Euro card and it's equally bullish. Most of these card pairs, GBP card, Euro card, New Zealand card, they are bullish, but it is a swing setup. So you need to take note of that as you plan towards trading them. For the Euro card, this has been my outlook from the beginning of the week. On the monthly time frame, we can see the market has been on an uptrend with a rejection candle closing last month. And if we flip down to the daily time frame, we can clearly see that the market was forming an inverse head and shoulder pattern, which is expected to break out upwards. And finally, if we go down to the 4-hour, because many of us will want to make entry of 4-hour, except those who want to do 1 hour, but let's start with the 4-hour. So it's still the same inverse head and shoulder, which is expected to break out upwards for Eurocard swing. Now, if you're a day trader and you want to take advantage of this trade, it's very possible. It only requires you to be patient. Like they say that a patient dog eats the fattest bone. Now, what you do is that you wait for price to break out, retest. Wait for a retest if you're trading intraday on 1 hour. Wait for a retest. Then at the retest point, look for a rejection candle, possibly a hammer, just look for a rejection candle around this area. Then you can trigger it up on 1 hour. So that's for 1 hour for intraday traders. But for swing traders, on your 4 hour, wait for a brand new candle to break out above this zone to trigger a buy. So we're bullish on the Euro card, we're bullish on the GBP card. GBP JPY is bullish. Like I said, virtually all the JPY pairs are bullish. But since you asked, let me just quickly run through that. That's for Mr. Raju. All right, so this is the GBP JPY. In fact, as we approach the new year, I see this instrument getting more and more bullish on the very long term. Towards the end of the month, I'll be giving my projection for the new year for 2025. And this, all things being equal, though, this will be one of the instruments I'll be analyzing for the new year because there's a long-term setup that is coming up on this instrument. Yeah, you can see here we have a kind of a rising wedge stroke, a channel, and we can clearly see that price, as is trending on this uptrend line. But the bigger picture in this instrument is that it's actually forming an inverse head and shoulder, and that's the same thing across board for virtually all the JPY pairs. But that's on the big picture. That's on the weekly time frame. But what we need for now is that price is touching the trend line and it's trying to make its way up on the weekly time frame. And if you go down to the daily, you can clearly see we're having a reversal candlestick pattern right here, and a morning star, which is going upwards. And if you go down to 4 hour, this is where we are now with a falling wedge. As the price has broken the trend line. However, the RSI is still 47. That's why you can see there's a slight retracement. Now you need to be careful. You don't make an entry here. I think price may retrace a little to retest the trend line before continuing upwards. And at that instance, it may end up forming an inverse head and shoulder with which it can trigger the uptrend on the GBP JPY. However, if price decides to break out upwards, just make sure that your RSI is clearly above 50 by the time you want to trigger a buy on the GBP JPY. It's not yet time, but then the trend on it is bullish. And if you're trading on 1 hour, on 1 hour, RSI is already above 50, clearly above 50. But you can see that the current candle is retracing. So it may retrace to retest before it continues. So trade with a lot of caution. If you want to make an entry whenever price breaks above this current high. Use that as a minor resistance, to trigger a buy. So once price breaks above that level, you can trigger a buy. So we're bullish on the GBP JPY. USD CHF, AUD USD. Now, from the weekly outlook of Monday, we are bearish on the dollar. I was very emphatic on that. And that's because we are seeing the formation of a head and shoulder on the daily time frame on the dollar, which will lead to a long-term bearish breakout. This is still subjective, though. It still depends finally on the NFP on Friday. The Friday NFP is what will determine the final direction of the dollar. But as a technical trader, trade what we see. What we're seeing is a head and shoulder forming on the dollar index. And I took us down to the USD CHF, where we have a similar setup on the USD CHF, a head and shoulder. So the projection for USD CHF is still bearish. So if you're trading USD CHF, look for an opportunity to sell if it presents itself. Don't just dump a sell. Like for now, we can't even trigger a sell, except maybe you have a news that goes in the bearish direction. Like some of the news we're having in the afternoon today, If it comes out bad for the dollar, yes, you can trigger a sell. But for now, technically, I will advise you hold on. You hold on until the news in the afternoon is released. There's going to be ADP, ADP non-farm employment change in the afternoon. If the data comes out bad for the dollar, yes, you can trigger a sell on the USD CHF. And for the person asking about the AUD USD, since the dollar index is bearish, then pairs like Euro USD, AUD USD, they are going to be bullish. So, and currently the AUD USD just experienced a retracement because of the news that happened in the course of the night. This is the AUD USD on the daily time frame. Let's see from the weekly, it's on an uptrend on the weekly. And on the daily, it's still a valid uptrend, while on the 4-hour, this is where we are. The last 4-hour candle closed as a rejection candle. That's an indication of a potential bullish breakout. I was seeing this was actually forming an inverse head and shoulder earlier, but then the current candle is projecting above it, way below it. Doesn't really matter anyway. If the dollar drops in the bearish direction, then there will be a breakout in a bullish direction on the AUD USD. Okay, Mr. Noel is asking about gold, Madam Elizabeth, Euro AUD. Paul Obasi, I just gave AUD USD. We have a bullish projection on the AUD USD. So you need to wait for price to break above that high to trigger a bullish trade on the AUD USD. See, most of these dollar setups are actually swing at the moment. Most of them are their swing. If you want any intraday, the JPY pairs will move faster than the dollar pairs, than the major currencies. So I'll look at BTC, gold, and Euro AUD as requested. So since we have a bearish outlook on the dollar, then we maintain our bullish outlook on gold. Even though at the moment there's really no trade setup, just like I mentioned yesterday, gold is currently ranging, on the 4-hour, it's in a range. A breakout upwards, even if it go down to 1 hour, there's still a minor range again on the 1 hour. There's a range on the 4-hour. I think we should focus more on the 1 hour. That's closer for many of us. So gold is in a range on the 1 hour time frame. So this is what's going to happen to gold. If price breaks out upwards, it's going to buy. If price breaks out downwards, it's a sell. But then since overall we are bearish on the dollar, we might be looking out for a bullish breakout on gold. Now, if that happens before the news in the afternoon, sure, you can take a bullish trade. The only caution I would advise you follow is that you wait for a breakout, a retest, then a continuation. Now, if in the afternoon the news is released and the news comes out bad for the dollar, which is our general projection, you can safely trigger a buy on gold. But that will be in the afternoon for the news. But like I said, if it's before the news, if it's a technical breakout, wait for a breakout, a retest, then a continuation. And for BTC, BTC still remains a bit unclear. I remember the last class we had on this, maybe that was on Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember. I said I was seeing the potential formation of a head and shoulder, which may trigger a long-term bearish direction, all things being equal. So I said it all depends, the market forces, BTC has been moving lately based on Donald Trump winning the election in the US. So at times we may not work 100% with the patterns. Sentiment and fundamentals is actually what is driving BTC for now. That's just the blunt truth. So we need to, I said it clearly that if it breaks out downwards of this pattern, the proposed, let me use that word, the proposed head and shoulder, that means it's going to sell. And if it breaks out above this resistance, that means it's going to buy. So it's either ways. It depends on where the breakout happens. But currently what I'm seeing is this. It's still not a signal, because here we can still clearly see that we have this proposed neckline is now giving us an uptrend where price has made a series of higher lows. Then price made the higher low the fifth time here. You can see from the third time, there's been some bullish movement. So even here, there is a bullish movement. And not only is it a higher low, this is actually a bullish engulfing, candlestick. So price may be approaching this resistance. So it's until it gets to this resistance, we know the next thing that will happen. If it gets to that resistance, we may look for an opportunity to sell. No, that's too long. It may still sell back to here before we know the next thing, or it breaks out a retest and a continuation. So that's my view on the BTC for now. It's still not, if now you ask me, well, can't we just enter a buy now? I will not encourage that. If it's at the close of this candle, you enter the buy, yes. But now the candle has moved a little. That will not be too wise. Anything can happen. You may enter a buy now and it drops. It's not guaranteed. If it's at the close of the bullish engulfing candle, perfect. That will have been the best time to have entered the bullish trade. So the best you can do for now is to watch and see. If it approaches this place, fine. Then you look for an opportunity to sell downwards. Or if it breaks that resistance, you wait for a retest and a continuation afterwards. Then finally, we have the Euro AUD. That's for Madam Onaji. Wow. Euro AUD seems to be ready to close the year on, okay, let me not preempt myself yet. All right. As a technical analyst, you trade what you see. What I'm seeing now, in reality, what I wanted to say before was that we had a valid support here. And sincerely, this is looking exactly like an inverse head and shoulder, which will trigger a long-term bullish breakout technically. But at the same time, this candle is the candle from today. Now, if a candle has done, there's a daily range for every instrument. This currency pair has done 170 pips between 11 p.m. last night and this hour as I speak. Will it continue going? I doubt. So currently it's trading around a resistance. So technically, we should be looking for an opportunity to sell, except if there is one fundamental to push it beyond. It has done its daily range at about 170 something pips already, except you are looking for a swing trade, except that. But on the daily trading, for me, I think this instrument has done its major move for the day and maybe looking for a retracement. And at a closer look again, you can see I'm drawing a trend line from the daily time frame, which is giving us a confluence of a possible reversal. You can see here, and price is exactly like this. So for me, I'll be looking for an opportunity to sell the Euro AUD. Most especially, we are looking for an opportunity to buy the AUD USD. Don't forget, they are negatively correlated. So if I'm looking to buy the AUD USD, Euro AUD would be going bearish. So that's all the analysis on the daily time frame. Let's flip down to the 1 hour. So we have a sharp movement upwards here. I think we should go lower to like two things could happen. Let me start with that. On this 1 hour, price may form a double top and a sell, at which we can trigger a sell at the break of the neckline of the double top. Or better still, we can flip down to 15 minutes time frame. Yeah. So this is 15 minutes. Price may go up to complete the double top and sell. And you can trigger a sell at the break of the neckline of the double top. So I'm bearish on the Euro AUD. All right. So that will be all for this morning. I think I've attended to virtually, not even virtually everybody. I've attended to all the requests. But don't forget that the main instruments we're looking at for this morning session is the AUD JPY and the New Zealand JPY, either on 1 hour or 4 hours, depending on your trading style. You're welcome, Madam Onaji. Don't forget on Friday, we're having our live trading session for NFP. NFP is non-farm payroll. If you're on the platform, you're new, welcome to PU Prime. NFP is not even one of, it's actually the biggest news in the Forex market, and it's released every month, the first Friday of every month. And this NFP is the last NFP for the year 2024. You don't want to miss it. Christmas is just a few weeks away. It's time to start making money to end the year. We're trading live. Make sure you have a funded account. If you need assistance, you need the account number, reach out to your account manager. They will furnish you with all those details. So join us by 2:15 p.m. on Friday with a funded account to trade NFP. Now, if you're here this morning, you don't have an account with PU Prime, just head over straight to our website, www.puprime.com, and open a live account immediately. You still have time to verify your account between now and Friday and fund it so that it can be a part of the live trading session. And we also hold physical training at our 2 locations in Nigeria at the moment. That's the Abuja and Lagos offices. We had a training session yesterday. If you missed it, well, no big deal. You can still be available for tomorrow's training session, 10:30 a.m. for the Abuja office, 11 a.m. for Lagos office. The Abuja office address is PU Prime Africa, Abuja, Work and Connect Building, 50 Ebitu Ukiwe Street, Jabi, Abuja. And Lagos is PU Prime Africa, Lagos, 54B Adeniyi Jones Avenue, Agos Executive Lounge, 54B Adeniyi Jones Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos. We'd love to see you at these 2 locations tomorrow. All right, that'll be the end of the morning session. That'll be the afternoon session by 12:30. Make sure you join us. Yes, ma'am.
Sir.
Yes, ma'am.
And please, I don't know if you can just give us a clue on US oil. Sorry, sir. Sorry.
US oil, okay.
Yeah, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's been a while actually that we got some setup on that instrument. So let's quickly look at it. I have limited time. The timer is already beeping, but we can still. Okay, so let's clear everything and start afresh.
Sorry, sir.
No problem, man. So this is the weekly time frame, and the price has been trading around the weekly time frame. And see, there's been a lot of bounce. This is this week. All right. So we established a support on the weekly, on the daily. This is the weekly support. Let's remove that. On the daily also, there is a support. And yesterday closed, 2 days ago, Monday, touching that support on the daily. So this is the 4-hour. And you can see we have a trend line. Now, 2 things can happen here, depending on the volatility of the market. Since we are coming from a support angle from the weekly price, a new candle may break out above this region and trigger a bullish trade, which will be a swing bullish trade. That's a very strong possibility. At least that's a long-term possibility. But on the short term, we could also experience a retracement. We could experience a retracement. Okay, I think it's here. We could experience a retracement because there is a resistance here, which let's go down to the 1 hour, 15 minutes. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. We have a descending trend line here, which if it's a swing breakout, once a new candle opens above here, you trigger a bullish trade, and that will be swing. But like I said, at this point, don't forget that these are lower highs, pardon me, lower highs. So technically, this is a bearish positioning on the lower time frame, though. Is a bearish positioning. So on the long term, bullish. On the short term, it could be bearish. So you need to just wait to know what price will do around this region. If there's a breakout upwards, it's a buy. If there's a breakout downwards, it's a sell. But know that the sell is a short-term sell. So if it's a sell, you'll be looking at 15 minutes time frame, and you'll be looking to trigger a sell. This actually is a double top forming. So you'll be looking to trigger a sell whenever price breaks out below this support zone. You'll be looking to trigger a sell if price breaks out below this support zone. But like I said, it's a short-term sell. And if it's going to be a buy, when a new candle, 4-hour candle preferably, opens above this current trend line. So that's my outlook on the US oil. I hope I answered the question, Madam Onaji.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir.
You're welcome. All right. Peace Kennedy, you may need to attend physical training sessions. You're asking, what does support mean? Support is a zone where price cannot break, but I can't go into full details on that now. Just make sure you attend our physical training session. You'll get all the information on that. All right. So we need to close now. Take care and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.
Have a great day, sir.